Alright, so why will 99% of you fail with Shopify dropshipping and lose out on a ton of money in 2018? Your boy Juan Valdez here with another video, and what I wanted to cover today or in this topic is, a specific area within e-commerce that a lot of people, tend to not put as much effort in and actually end up losing a ton of money because of not doing so. That specific area within the e-commerce business is brand building, right? So I wanted to tell you guys a pretty fun fact. When we first got started in e-commerce and dropshipping, when we had like our first highest month, which was like around 224K, obviously we were super excited about that, obviously, because that wasn't a bad month, and obviously we were first getting started. But around that same time frame, we actually met these guys that were doing, e-commerce as well, and they actually have multiple stores, but their main stores, they actually were selling similar products, right? And with all their stores combined, they were actually doing about $3 million a month. And it was crazy because we actually ended up messaging them. You guys may have heard the story from either, Samir. We messaged them and we had the opportunity to meet up with these guys, and it was the craziest thing that we, once we ended up talking to them, they were nice enough to let us meet with them and, share some of the strategies they were doing that obviously led them to have the success that they had. And when it came down to it, they actually ended up showing us like, a few of their stores, and it was crazy that we found out that they were selling similar products that we were selling, but they were making 10 times the amount that we were making on the same products, right? And one thing that we realized is the reason why they were able to do that is because they had built a brand around their product. So what I wanted to share with you guys is some of the things you can focus on to make sure you don't fall under the rest of the 99% of other stores, and you can really stand out and not only focus on, obviously not failing within e-commerce and dropshipping, but also focus on being able to make more profits. Because honestly, even though we were super pumped to have, one of those, we had a few of those big months, and now we've done over 7 figures with our, e-commerce stores. But we were really bummed out because we probably missed out on literally double the revenue. We could have, if we would have simply focused on building a brand, we could have easily sold the same products and made, similar to, the profits that they were making. Maybe not as much because they've already been established for, maybe like a year or two, before we were. But we could have easily at least sold, the same products and made double the profit. Hey, if we would have made double the profit, we would have made $500,000 in our second month of dropshipping, so it wouldn't have been the worst month. So what I did is I actually put together some notes here, just some quick bullet points that I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully, you guys get value from it. Some things you should focus on within your e-commerce stores, and some things you want to make sure you're doing. These are things that they do get overlooked a lot. And obviously it's not anybody's fault. It's just that, some people you may have learned from, they may not put as much effort into, making sure you understand the power behind it. So a lot of you guys may know, like a lot of these businesses now, they have huge brands built, and that's what they focus on. And, especially nowadays when you do, when a lot of the marketing is switching from like, TV and radio ads, newspaper, more to, social media marketing, influencer ads, influencer shout outs, things like that. That's where things are switching to. So obviously, if you don't have a brand built, it does make it a lot harder to work with influencers and really get your name out there, because obviously, influencers don't feel as comfortable, sharing businesses or brands that don't really have anything built behind them. So obviously, it's an advantage if you do have a brand built, and that's what we want to talk about. So one of the first things when you're first getting started with your e-commerce stores, after you obviously you've taken the time to build your store, done product research, things like that, when you're pretty much getting ready to launch, you want to make sure that once you narrow down like what store you're going to focus on, that you start off by making social media platforms for all these sites, right? I know it sounds super simple, but this is something that a lot of people don't do. Make sure you start off making, you automatically need a Facebook fan page if you're going to obviously run Facebook ads, so definitely I hope you get that done. But make sure you're also making an Instagram account. It's actually, there's a statistic that's been shown that us humans, when we're buying online, a majority of the part when it comes to buying different products online is due to the picture that we see of the product, right? So even if it's not the best offer, or if it's not the best website, if the ad that they're seeing is a really good ad and a good clean picture, they're probably going to click on it, and the chances that they're going to buy is pretty high. So you want to make sure you do is you have a built Instagram page, because a lot of people nowadays do take the time to check out different businesses' Instagram profiles. So obviously there's a power behind, you know, having your Instagram page built. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like obviously you don't need millions or hundred thousands of followers. Obviously that helps. But when first getting started, it's better to have, you know, somewhat of a page built and some posts than having nothing there. So for sure, first thing off the bat, make sure you have social media platforms, you know, established. Twitter, I would say it wouldn't be bad to have it. Twitter is good to be used as a customer service, you know, platform for the business, but we can get a little more into that. But for sure, Facebook and Instagram, focus on those right off the back. And you know, you want to make sure you have somewhat of a presence. And the reason why you want to focus on those for sure is because those are going to be the platforms that you're going to be doing a majority of your marketing on, right? So obviously Facebook ads, that's like the #1 way to drive paid targeted traffic to your business. And then you have also Instagram influencer shoutouts, which is another huge strategy within e-commerce and dropshipping. We went through the process of getting started with only having somewhat of a Facebook fan page built, and not even anything great, right? We just had like a few thousand likes on it, and you know, just had some posts on it, but nothing crazy. And also we had no Instagram page when we first got started. So we already made the mistake of not doing that. Obviously, you know, we were still able to produce the results, but it definitely brought up our conversions a lot more once we really established our Instagram page and started, you know, really focusing on building our Instagram and Facebook page. We noticed the difference between, you know, and the reason why you see that is because when you're running your, let's say, Facebook ad, you know, and people go and click your fan page, they want to see different things going on. They want to see you're active. They want to see you taking the time to build your profile. And there's a lot of different advantages, and I'm going to share some of the advantages with you guys in just a second, but I want to make sure I get to everything else. I'm going to share some of the advantages that comes with, you know, building the brand behind your business. So that's #1. Make sure you're starting off by building all social media platforms off the rip. You know, make sure you get that out the way, and you obviously you're focusing on it for sure as well. The next part we want to focus on, you want to make sure that, you know, this is another area that, you know, it is a little bit, people don't put as much importance on it, right? And when it comes down to it, this area right here allowed us to pick up extra revenue by doing something we were already doing, but just putting more effort into doing it. And that strategy, or, you know, thing we were doing is, you know, really be engaging with our customer service. So obviously, you know, the first part is, you know, making sure you have your social media platforms built. Second part, we want to transition to, you know, after you have that built and you start, you know, driving traffic and obviously making sales, you transition into, you know, obviously after you make sales, you may get some emails of customers asking different questions. They may ask questions before they buy, after, you know, at any point in time, right? Now, when you're getting these emails, you want to make sure, you know, usually at first what we would do is just quickly respond to them, boom, just get rid of the emails and that's it. Not even put any emphasis, you know, on the emails. Just really try to get rid of them and clear them out of our inbox, right? So we started noticing that would happen. We would get sometimes some type of response, but not really any good feedback. But then what we started to do is we started transitioning to really engaging with our customers, right? We were starting to engage with them and you know, take a few more minutes just to type out, you know, whatever the email is. We've had a lot of customers that have also like to buy these kind of products alongside with this product that you're about to buy or that you're asking about. Just in case, I thought you'd be interested, I included the link right here. You guys can check it out. And simply just by doing that, by providing a little bit of value, what I would do is that whatever the question was that they were asking about, I would make sure we would respond to the question, but also I'd make sure I respond in a way that's very thorough, not just like a blank statement. I'd put it, you know, I'd make sure it would be like 1 or 2 sentences, and then from there at the end, what I would do is I'd include, you know, a suggestion to other possible products that they might be interested in, and that right there allowed us to pick up extra sales, you know, throughout our emails. And the reason why I know that this worked, that these specific strategies worked when we were doing it, not every single time, but it worked for us because we included specific links on those emails to track, like to see if it would actually work or not. And there were some sales coming in because we were able to see them, you know, obviously after, on the back end. So, you know, simple strategies like that, like you don't have to you know, go that extra mile, like track everything that's gonna come from it. But I guarantee you it does not hurt to, one, spend a little more time, maybe like an extra minute or two, to get a little more descriptive in your answer whenever a customer has any questions. And two, suggest some other products or other, services that you think they might be interested in based on the products that they're coming in for. It doesn't work if you're just trying to do it for any random product and you just send them to like another product. But if you can find, products that are congruent, like if you're selling, let's say, a baby t-shirt, maybe you can find like a baby hat that's gonna be the same color, same type of design that goes along with it. That can definitely bring up your conversions, right? But obviously we're not talking about just building conversions, we're talking about brand building. Having good customer service is like bottom line, something that people will always come back for and will always pay more for. When I was doing door-to-door sales, one of the biggest things that people will buy, it wasn't even the actual product that I was selling or the different variations of the products that I had. They were a majority of the time buying from me. They didn't even know, half the time what the name of the company was that I was working for or the real benefits of the product. They were really buying, into myself. And that's something that we learned from one of our biggest mentors. It's something that they're really big on. Really focusing on service, providing the best possible service. People will pay more for it all day long. If you think about some of the restaurants you guys go to, some of the places you visit, hotels you stay at, if you think back to the reason why you guys might stay there is really because of the service they're providing you guys. So you want to make sure that if you want to make sure you stay out of the 99% of stores that will fail, make sure you're focusing on the service, right? That all comes down to the overall brand building. You want to, if you're known to have obviously a brand that's active on social media, because everybody knows that right now social media marketing is like one of the biggest opportunities for any business, and also you're known for having good service. I mean, you can think about it. Think about if you're thinking about should you buy from the store that barely has any social media presence and doesn't really have any good customer service and barely responds to their emails and takes really long to respond, or would you buy from a store that has social media presence, responds to their emails thoroughly, and also responds quickly within obviously a manner time frame? Which one would you choose to buy from? It's a pretty easy decision, right? So obviously you want to make sure that those are simple ways that you can focus on building your brand and obviously having better service, which is obviously like huge. Everyone will always buy from people or from any business that has better service. That's like bottom line. One of the ways you guys can make it very easy for customers to feel trusted when they're coming on your website is making it very easy for them to contact you, right? Some people, like something that we would do before, and again, we tried and tested this before, obviously before sharing with you guys, we tested it. Something we would do before is that we wouldn't make it as easy for customers to email in or find the contact us button, because we wanted to bring down the amount of emails we're getting. So we noticed that there's an app or a specific plugin you can have in your Shopify store that basically you can see people come in and see a little bit of the interaction. And we would watch some people come in and it would be very difficult for them to find like a support or a contact us section, right? So we'd watch them scroll through, they'd look for it, spend so much time, and after it would take them so long actually finding at the support or contact us section, they would end up clicking out and leaving our page because of how hard and difficult it was to find the contact us section. Now some of you guys already may be doing a better job than we are, but one thing you want to do is make it very easy for your customers to be able to contact you. Right in the open. If you can put it, the easier the better, right? So what we would recommend is for you guys to have at the bottom of your page or even at the top, put your email, your support email at the top and at the bottom. Make it very, or have a pop-up that says like, contact us. Make it very easy for them to contact you in case they have any questions, because what happens is, there might be on their website and they might get a question about the product, but then because it's not easy for them to see where they can click to message you and ask you about the question that they have about the product. It may make them leave the website and completely forget about the purchase. So obviously you want people coming on your website, when they come on there, obviously if they have any questions, make it very easy for them to contact you so you can answer the question and they can actually go ahead and finish their order. We've had plenty of customers come into our website and message us many different questions for different products, and simply with us responding to their email, just responding, again with the method that we did before, taking the time to write a descriptive, extra sentence response to them, and also just suggesting other products, automatically increased our revenue and got us extra sales. And we tried it, over and over again. We would have some emails that we wouldn't respond to, and we went back and respond to these, and these same customers, we would match up their names they would end up buying shortly after we responded. Now again, it may not work every single time, but if you can, you know, generate extra revenue by simply responding to an email and taking an extra second to be a little more descriptive in your email, a little bit more interactive with your customers or potential customers, you know, guaranteed to have extra revenue. But well, I wanted to share with you guys, you know, those two strategies when it comes down to brand building. Those are the main ones that you guys should focus on off the bat, because those are, you know, super important to definitely start working on early on. The last one that I wanted to really focus and have you guys focus on, well, the reason why you guys want to focus on brand building is because once you guys have a brand building, you have, you know, your social media pages that are built, and obviously you have grown, like your Facebook and Instagram pages, and obviously you have interactive customers within your social media platforms, and you have a brand build. You can then start doing different things like, you know, promoting or testing your products within your social media pages and your email list, which again comes all back to, you know, responding to the emails. You can test your products using your social media pages for free. So rather than you having to go and run an ad and spend some money to test and find out if it's going to work, you can go ahead and post, you know, the product either on your Instagram page or your Facebook page, and start seeing the feedback that you're getting from your customers off the bat without even having to spend any money. So that's obviously huge, because it allows you to test products for free. And then what you can also do is, obviously, if you've engaged with your customers through your emails and you responded, some of them may have gotten opted into your email list, and also if they bought, obviously they're going to be on your email list. Now, since you've had such good interactions through emails and your customers, they're obviously going to be a lot more likely to open up your emails for sure, because they know that the brand that they're responding to is a brand that's very interactive and they like speaking to, and it's very supportive, right? If they have any questions, you guys always answer it. You can also test your products through your email list, which is huge because you can test for free. Again, we do this all the time. Before we even think about, you know, running the ad, or before we want to spend any real money, we'll have a list of products, we'll put them together in an email, and we'll actually send that out to the, you know, to our email list, and we'll start seeing which ones start getting sales and which ones don't. And the ones that, you know, end up getting sales, we'll start to test. And we've found winning products simply with that same strategy. So that can make a separate video just on that, specifically going into that. But the way you're able to do that strategy later on is by focusing on brand building, you know, from the beginning. Because if you don't start building your brand early on, you know, later on you won't be able to take advantage of, you know, these different strategies that I'm sharing with you guys now. So I hope you guys got value from this brand building strategy. There is a few more things that go into brand building, so I may do a part 2 series of this video. Feel free to give me some feedback. If you got value from this video, you know, give me a thumbs up. Also, drop a comment. Let me know, you know, what you think of it so far. If you've personally tried to, you know, work on building your brand for your e-commerce business, and also let me know if you guys want to see a part 2 series to this video. You know, obviously hit that subscribe button, join the family, Valdez fam. I'm gonna try to bring you guys a lot more, you know, videos just like this, a lot more cutting edge strategies for your e-commerce business, and I'll also be sharing other topics within business, you know, as well. So I hope you guys got value from this video. Make sure you implement these strategies. Don't play yourself. It's 2018. You know, it's time to make some money. Peace.